there wasn't too much driving on the icy roads. Only when we went to Krefeld for Home Story Cup, it was very wintry, that tiny period. There was a lot of snow, and there was some ice, but there weren't icy roads. We were totally fine, and we had winter tires, mate. Here we go.
Let's get it on.
Round 1, fight!
It is Friday evening, the 20th of February 2026, and it is time for the Big Brain Bouts main event number 107. The winner gets $200, the loser gets $50 for a single series. This man is currently over in South Korea, enjoying his final months over in Korea before he goes back to Europe. Representing BASILISK, it is Reynor. Took a little nap because it's like 4 AM over in Korea, and Reynor, unlike Hero and Beyond, does not want to stay up all day and night. So he took a nap. I hope he woke up in time. He got a coffee or a Red Bull, I don't know. And he's ready to peak in the middle of the night. Top right side, representing Team Liquid. He's the one who volunteered to play this series a couple of weeks ago. He said, I'd love to play Reynor. And then they ended up in the same group at Home Story Cup. That did not go his way. Will tonight look any different than those games? We're about to find out. It's Team Liquid's SKillous. I think the default, Foxer. I think I am the biggest fan of just the regular Red Bull. I'm okay with most of the flavored ones. Like the yellow one is quite okay. Once in a while they have like a blue winter one that I think is quite okay. But I kind of like standard the most. I'm okay with most of the off flavors. The one that I really don't like is Red Bull 0.0 or sugar free. Like the light blue is awful. The 0.0 is a tiny bit better, where the can is like gray and silver. The light blue one is the absolute worst. But the yellow one is quite good. But I still like the regular one the most. So Reynor was not able to take his hatchery on the low ground because SKillous was there with one of his first probes immediately. So Reynor was forced to take this base on the right side of his main. But other than that, business as usual. I'm not expecting SKillous to do too many wild things. Is there a chance that one time he tries trigger his build, did the 2 base blink stalker all in? Maybe. Feel like if he truly believed in it, he could have tried at Home Story Cup as well, even in the rematches. Because they did play those tiebreaker games. Played 3 games against Reynor, and all 3 went in favor of Reynor. But SKillous was still eager to run it back. And he wants to show the world that he can do better than he did over in Krefeld. I'm all for it. I also feel that Red Bull has a lot of temporary flavors now. So even if you like one of the seasonal ones, and suddenly they're like, alright, season's gone, Red Bull's gone. It's like, oh, come on. I know that the yellow one they kept forever because I guess it was very popular and it did well. But there were a few other ones that I thought were quite good, and then they suddenly disappeared. It's like, well, now I feel robbed. You guys got me excited over something that I can't even get my hands on anymore. Double adapt shades into the main base. That is a potential promising start here, guys, for SKillous, who already got 1 drone. He's going to get a second. He's going to get a third. Reynor may not be awake yet, because that is a good damage on the side of SKillous. You'll take that. I do think he is going to end up losing the second adapt in the end, but forcing out all these Zerglings, killing a Ling or 2, but also killing the 3 drones is quite good. Pulsar Beam gets activated, kills a single drone. That wasn't the best Oracle start for SKillous. Took a lot of damage on his Oracle and only killed a single drone. I don't think he's very happy with that one. But at home, he's safe. One would even say bulletproof. That is interesting, by the way. So we go double Oracle into a Phoenix. A Phoenix to maybe chip away at these Overlords and push them all the way back and ideally kill an Overlord or 2. And a double Forge. This is a pretty wild build, guys. Double Oracle, Phoenix into double Forge before a Twilight Council. Or a Robo. Curious. And this is going to be double Forge into Robo. Alright. We do have a Giga Chat Spore here. That's going to make it very difficult for these two Oracles to find any additional damage. We are now entering the phase of ZVP that Reynor is not very fond of. What Reynor doesn't like about this matchup is that he feels like there's nothing he can really do right now. He feels that the Protoss is mega safe at home with Oracles, with battery recharge. And because of shield batteries, it's also so hard to find a pickoff. So all he can really do is drone. But then the real question is, how many drones can he make? Should he make? He does have a good dive on the 5 adepts that don't have any Twilight Council upgrades. He's going to get the first 2 immediately. He's going to get the 3rd one as well. Tiny bit sloppy there, guys, by SKillous. Would have been better to keep those 5 adepts close to each other to make it more difficult for Reynor and his Zerglings to surround them. And obviously have the Oracles on top of the adepts immediately. This Phoenix was working on the Overlord for approximately 27 minutes. But just like how the Germans have worked for 100 years in trying to be better than the Dutch in anything, it has failed to get the job done. What it does successfully do is obviously push the Overlord all the way back. And that is something. Like right now, if you're Reynor, there are so many things you have to worry about, and he doesn't really know what it is exactly. It's around a Stalker there. That's kind of nice. Sees that SKillous warps in another Stalker, but Protoss players are very good in this day and age in warping in whatever they are not making. Up to the point where Zerg players become so paranoid that even if they see you warp in 4 Zealot, they're like, it's probably Resonating Glaive Adept or it's Blink Stalkers. So, you know, you see 2 Stalkers, but Reynor cannot be certain that this is going to be a bunch of Stalkers with Blink, or it might still be Zealots with Charge. If you're talking about a World Cup, Mr. Wrinkler, we did actually. 2026, mate. The World Cup that got hosted in Canada, USA, and Mexico. The Dutch won it. So, obviously, we should have had a few more. We should have won in 2010. We should have won in 74. We should have won in 78. But at least we won in 2026. Reynor getting surrounded on the Immortals. I'm not exactly sure why. Okay, because Reynor wants both. The Phoenix could lift one, by the way. The Phoenix could lift an Immortal. Come on, SKillous. Alright, SKillous. Oh my god, he saves both! He waited with the lift to lift the one that was likely to fall first. And then he saved the other one with the Oracles. Hey, that's actually a great save. Now, them taking that much damage against just Zerglings is still not ideal, because it's now easier to lose those Immortals later on. But a fantastic save regardless. Storm is done. 1-1 is done. Reynor is going to poke, and he's going to get showered in storms. Reynor might just want to get a cancel on the 4th base. What are we looking for here exactly? The Zealots 1-1. One Immortal, by the way, has no barrier and is awfully close to dying, but is living up to his name so far. Bulmiolja. Not bad by SKillous. That one Phoenix comes from nowhere, lifts a Hydra. Reynor does already have Hive Tech. Like, it's all so smooth, right? When you watch these guys that are truly world class in what they do, it always feels that no matter what goes wrong or what could have been better, they still have such a strong build. And 9 minutes in, a lot of creep to work with for Reynor. 5 base Zerg, seismic spines. Now lurkers can get A-moved. I am sure that you guys have seen the occasional Reynor stream in the past where he's had like 15 lurkers, but then ShoWTime would attack him with a gazillion Archons, +3 plasma shields, Immortals, and then Reynor lets go of his little sarcastic Italian giggle. Haha, look at that, haha. As the lurkers just can't quite get it done. Since SKillous is going to have really good upgrades, this could theoretically lead into one of those games. Where Reynor gets a lot of lurkers, but they just don't kill the Protoss units quick enough. By the way, that Zealot has low HP. That Zealot has low HP. This is bad news. Oh, Nikita, why would we put such a low HP Zealot on door duty? Alright, we do have a couple of Zealots in the bottom side. Maybe a War Prism in the main. And here come the Immortals and the High Templars. And Reynor doesn't even want to see how long these lurkers can live. There is so much chaos right now that I'm not exactly sure what to show you guys, but let's just focus on the main armies for now. That's a lot of Zealots in the main base that could potentially snipe Adreno Glands. We are 10 seconds away from Adreno Glands, but that one gets denied. SKillous' army is big. Reynor is all over the natural, soon all over the main base, but SKillous is also all over the bases of Reynor. It seems like game 1 is not long for this world. Don't lose the Observer to a Spore. That would be a real ruddy play, and you don't want to do that. I feel like Reynor is in trouble now, because of the +2 attack, +2 armor, and all the storms that are still available. These Zealots will get surrounded, and these Zealots will die, but I mean, we have Zealots at home, we have a Storm at home, the lurker count is not that high anymore. What is ever going to stop this Protoss army? Oh, the drone transfer. 49 drones have died in the last minute of this base trade. And SKillous can obviously just chill over here near the triangle and be like, alright, let me kill the 3rd base, the 4th base, the natural. Knows about the 5th, so he could move back. Does not have to move into the main. Reynor is in all sorts of trouble. The early double fort has really done wonders here, I think, for SKillous. SKillous is one Phoenix. The hero Phoenix that saved an Immortal earlier does get picked off, but Reynor knows that he is dead because he's going to lose the 5th base. He's a 1 base Zerg at that point with no income. 11 minutes into the game, your main base is done. SKillous strikes back, sets the record straight after those home Story Cup games. Takes the 1-0 lead. Double Oracle. 5 adepts, or like 7 adepts in total. 2 adepts early on, 5 adepts more. A Phoenix, double Forge, and then a lot of Immortals and Quickstorm. And obviously Zealot Charge as first upgrade out of the Twilight. After the double Forge, the Robo, and the Twilight Council. A strong build by Nikita. Good save, obviously, on those 2 Immortals. It looked like Reynor was going to get both of them. In the end, he got nothing. And that is what potentially kept SKillous alive when it came to defending that 4th base. Because if he doesn't have those 2 Immortals there, SKillous big braining. Even if he's on the wrong team, we always appreciate the big brain plays on the Friday evening. That's what it's all about. Reynor's still waking up. I mean, I hype up the Koreans on the Monday night when you see them play these unholy games at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Sometimes, like, without exaggeration, Beyond is playing at 7 a.m. And then he's still just taking 4 bases, dropping extra command centers, microing like a god. Reynor called him a freak the other day. But I obviously, that sounds bad, but I think he meant it in a positive way. But that is truly like freakish behavior. How on earth do you start playing tournaments at like, let's say 8 p.m., 9 p.m. your time? But then at 7 a.m. you're still dropping additional command centers and aim for the late game. Not everyone can do that. And Reynor, I don't think, is someone that can really do that. And that's why Reynor took a power nap a couple of hours ago to get ready for his main event. Once a month we try to get all the boys to at least play a series on the Friday evening. It's been a busy year for all 3 of them, so there's definitely not been a lack of action of the Basilisk players. But in 2025 we had some periods where sometimes you guys didn't see Reynor play a game for like 5 weeks or 7 weeks. Serral went, I think at one point, 2 months without an official series. And we just want to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. Makes it fun for me, makes it fun for you guys. And this time it's Reynor's turn.
Round 2, fight!
Down 0-1, but perhaps they're still waking up. But we do know how he feels about the matchup. There are just a lot of things that he has to worry about, and he feels that it's difficult to always have the correct guess, the correct call. Down 0-1, but it'd be silly to count him out. It is Basilisk Reynor. If Reynor would describe the game to you, Jay, Reynor would say, my opponent did nothing and I got A-moved. And obviously he wouldn't mean that, but double Oracle with a Phoenix to keep Overlords out, a double Forge before Robo, before Twilight, and then just well upgraded Immortals, Archon, Storm. And this man moved out at a picture perfect moment when Reynor, his lurk account wasn't quite high enough yet. And I actually think it really worked against Reynor, that Reynor set up the Drop Lord play while being attacked. I feel like those units would have probably been more valuable at home, because that Protoss army was always going to kill everything a little bit quicker than a few Hydra Zerglings and a couple of Lurkers out of Drop Lords would. Bottom right side, he's up 1-0, representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. SKillous spent the last year and a half or something along those lines in a city called Tilburg in the Netherlands. If you're Dutch or you've gone to the Netherlands a few times, you may have heard of Tilburg. If you're not Dutch and you don't know a lot about Dutch geography, Tilburg probably sounds like nothing. But he has recently moved back to the city that he used to live in together with Reynor. When these two guys were roommates, and they were roommates for a little bit over a year, they lived in a city that's not too far away from me. And I guess this man really loved it. So I asked him already last week, but at that point he was laying the floor in his apartment. Apparently he can do it all. He can work as facility manager, he can play Protoss at a high level, and he can also lay a floor in a new apartment. Ever since I got moved to the attic here, my floor here is not much. This room is also a bit too echoey. I really have to fix that, and we will fix it after I come back from Korea. But I'm also thinking of like getting something different on the floor. Maybe carpet, just because it's a bit warmer. Right now, I don't even know what kind of material is on the ground, but it's cold AF. And it just doesn't feel very nice for your feet. The only problem with carpet is obviously that my chair can move around. But I know there are solutions for that. So maybe I will hire SKillous. See if he wants to earn a couple buckies on the side and he can help me lay some carpet. Banished upstairs. I mean, what can I do? Vicky is the real breadwinner of the household. Oh, Danny boy. You have to know your place in life, right? We have heated floors at the ground level and on the second floor. Just there's no heated floor in the attic. SKillous is going for 1 gate, a void ray, 3rd nexus before the wall off is even done. What's wrong with carpet? I like carpet. It's also very good when it comes to absorbing the sound. Because this has been very bad for my hearing. I have a lot of tinnitus, I guess. As I hear the ringing sound, especially here because it's a bit echoey and I'm in a tiny corner. And the walls are a bit naked. There is just not too much in this room. And I feel like with a bit of carpet, it's going to sound a bit better. And then hopefully I won't lose all my hearing before I turn 40. We're almost there. Not quite there yet. SKillous sends in the 2 adepts and he kills 3 drones immediately, and with a bit of help from the Oracle, 3 turns into 5. Does lose the Oracle. Wow, look at that. On this map, I haven't seen it. The Fleet Beacon and the 2nd Stargate. 5 minutes into Ruby Rock, SKillous is going Fleet Beacon 2nd Stargate after YOLO Swag 420 the Oracle in. I wonder if Reynor would potentially queen walk this. Because even if SKillous gets a Tempest out, a single Tempest is not going to deal with a gazillion Roaches, Ravages and Queens. And even 2 or 3 Tempests are going to have a hard time keeping that at bay. Going straight into carriers would really take a long time, but it is a possibility. There is a build with a couple of carriers back into ground units. It's a build that I feel like Hero used to do, where they open up with like 4 carriers and then they make that transition into 8 gate, Twilight Council, Forge and whatever. I don't have a pet, Rygo, but even if I do, the pact would not go up 2 flights of stairs. Especially the second part of the stairs, that one is not covered, so that is not safe for pets. I have always dreamed of having my own dog, and I hope to have one day, but if I have a dog, it can definitely cuddle with me on the couch. Vicky will hate it, but I will love it. And I wouldn't mind, but not 2nd floor, not 3rd floor. I mean, 2nd floor, maybe it can take a nap into the bedroom. That's also fine. Crow into bed, also fine. But not the 3rd floor. That's just too many stairs for dogs. It's not good. So SKillous has gone double carrier and now goes into Tempest production. Maybe as... So sometimes, guys, if you feel like you're being attacked, getting Tempest is actually better than getting carriers, because Tempest build a little bit quicker, and Tempest obviously have an easier time staying safe because they have infinite range. The problem, though, is if your opponent doesn't attack and they just crank out a big round of drones, Now you have an army that can't really do anything. It's not strong enough to really go out. If it sits at home, it's too expensive. I feel like this is just not really coming together for SKillous. It's very standard in the Netherlands. Like most of the places have, like it's not very wide. The rooms are not very big, but it does have 2 flights of stairs. This is like 80% of the houses in the Netherlands have that. When you're talking about like houses that are being built in a row in a neighborhood connected to all the houses. Auf Deutsch they say ein Zweifamilienhaus, or in Dutch you just say een rijtjeshuis, which translates to a house in a row. It's a whole row of houses, and then they're all the same height and they kind of have the same layout. The Zalmhaven penthouse. I would love that, mate. I would love to live in the Zalmhaven Toren. I would love to live in Montevideo or whatever the name of the other one is. Even the Boston and the Seattle Tower would be nice at the Kop van Zuid, but unfortunately not going to work. Kop van Zuid would be a very fun area to live, but I don't think it's happening in this lifetime, my friend. Lynx roaches and 15 corruptors in the mix for Reynor. Reynor is gonna send 15 corruptors in. Took a long time to kill that first carrier, guys. It may have been better for Reynor to go for the void race first. This was not the best. This was not the best attack, actually. Alright, there is no Zweifamilien house. Whatever, guys. Thought I remembered something from high school. I got it wrong. It is what it is. That wasn't the best fight for Reynor, guys. We lost 9 corruptors for a carrier and a void ray. Since the void rays deal infinite amounts of damage more than the carriers there, especially when they are charged up with prismatic alignment, it would have probably been better for Reynor to gun down the voids first and then try to go for a carrier. Because that first carrier just took forever. We didn't quite have that critical mass of corruptors to easily gun one down. I don't think it's the end of the world for Reynor. I think our position is good enough that we can recover from a tiny hiccup like that. But it wasn't perfect. You know what I really need right now, guys? One more person telling me that it's also Rijnhuis auf Deutsch. Like, if there's just one more person out there that can also let me know that een Rijtjeshuis is also Rijnhuis auf Deutsch, then we're covered. Because at this point, I'm just not sure yet if the point came across. Are you sure, Rexy? Alright, that's it. Now I'm on board. I wasn't on board before. The first 17 people that told me, I wasn't certain, but number 18, now I'm a believer. Zweifamilienhaus, Dreifamilienhaus, Vierfamilienhaus, Einfamilienhaus, or the Rijnhuis. We're on the same page, guys. We can move on. The TLDR is that stairs don't necessarily mean big. You can have a lot of very tiny rooms on top of each other. I'm honestly kind of sick of stairs. I would rather have the exact same space in a nice apartment or a penthouse. That would be a lot better, but unfortunately that becomes a lot more expensive as well. Can't have it all in life. The stairs are good for me though, since I don't get enough exercise, so now at least I go up and down all day, every day. Getting a little bit of exercise in. You would love a stream in Dutch, I have to say. When I was at Homestory Cup, apparently Twitch chat requested that Horstem, Uthermo, and I would do the first 5 minutes of a game on White Rabbit in Dutch. So we did a little bit of Dutch commentary. It was very silly. Because they even started translating the units. Like a roach would be a cockalock in Dutch. Well, not really, but whatever. They translated everything, all the unit names. A zealot would be, I don't even know. I don't even know how to translate most of the unit names. They also translated the nicknames of the players. Well, a roach, like technically a cockalock is a cockroach, but whatever. Let's talk about Skytos, guys. Let's talk about a lot of in Dutch dragers. A crazy amount of carriers. We've got 10 carriers, 2 Tempest, 9 Void Rays, and a mothership. Reynor has 19 Corruptors. Reynor has Infestus. Reynor has a Vipers. We could go for the Loco. I like what SKillous is doing here, by the way. This brings me back to Classic at Game is 8 or the first edition of the Esports World Cup, whichever one it was, where he would kind of show all the carriers and the Tempest. And then once all the spellcasting has been done, that's when you show up the Void Rays. But unfortunately for SKillous, the Voids are on top of everything else. I say unfortunately, maybe it's not that unfortunate at all, because Skytos is reigning supreme. I mean, no amount of fungal, no amount of parasitic bomb apparently deals damage against all these units. And after 13 minutes in Ruby Rock, SKillous takes the 2-0 lead. Everything got fungled, everything got parabombed, nothing died. 16 Corruptors, 15 Corruptors, 12 Corruptors. Very smart, by the way, to move the Interceptors away from the parabomb. Like with carriers, even if they get parabombed and the Zergs pull what people like to call the Dimaga or the Loco maneuver, and they click the Corruptors on top of the Skytos army, if you just right-click the carriers on a unit that is very far away from the Corruptors, then your Interceptors don't die. Man, that was brutal. Nothing died. The power of the mothership there as well. Casual, infinite amounts of HP in the sky. But the problem with Voids, like Voids are very good in fighting. The problem with Voids in general is that they suck against the spellcasters. And Void Rays clump up like no tomorrow. So the combo of a Fungo and a Parabomb is normally the death of a bunch of Void Rays. Definitely did not work this time. SKillous is eager. SKillous is hungry for the 200 buckies. It's a very different series than we saw over at the Home Story Cup. The man from Team Liquid taking the 2-0 lead over his old roommate. It's obviously not over yet. This game will, however, be played on Central again. Game 1 was on Central, Game 2 was on West. Very smart by SKillous to play a build like that. The double Stargate carrier Tempest on the server where you have worse ping, because that really doesn't relate to having low ping too much. It more is about executing the build and then getting your army in the right place, being on top of your upgrades, which he most certainly was, and air upgrades matter so much. And now on Central, he can go back to something that is maybe a bit more micro-intense again. Well, surprising start to the main event of BBB number 107. But I really need to know though, guys, how is it called again in German? Like Reicheshaus? Was it Reihenhaus?
Round 3. Fight.
Now I'm second guessing myself again. How many Familien live in this house? In the bottom right side, the man who moved back to the town that he used to live in with his opponent, taking a 2-0 lead. Very impressive. Team Liquid's SKillous. Top left side, the man who took a power nap as it is around 4 AM over in Korea. He will be in Korea for approximately 2 more months and then he is back to Europe for good. Will he stay in Italy? Will he go elsewhere? You never really know with this man. It is Basilisk's very own Reynor. Down 0-2, guys. I'm very surprised. I don't think this was on the bingo card of a lot of Starcraft fans out there. I believe one fan in the Discord wrote it was going to be a 3-0 for SKillous. I don't know if that was a meme or if that was support of his friend. Or maybe he's just a big fan of SKillous, but I have a hard time imagining that a lot of people would have predicted SKillous to win this 3-0. But he's almost there. Not quite there, but almost there. Maybe Reynor is also just a very big fan of the US of A. And he's like, you know what, after losing that first game, if we only have 15 minutes to watch America make it to the grand finals of the Olympic ice hockey tournament, let it be an 0-3. I've never heard a man say a single word about ice hockey in his life, so I kind of doubt it, but you never know. Stars and stripes, baby. No, I don't. I've never visited Reynor, but I will have a chance to visit Reynor for at least 2 days, somewhere in March. So if you come back, mate, on the 20th of March, when we have another Big Brain Bout, of course we'll have one next Friday, but after next Friday, the next edition, so number 109, will be on the 20th of March. Then you can ask me if Reynor lives in a Ryan house in Seoul, but I have never seen one in Seoul, so I doubt it. What I assume is that it's a big tower with a bunch of apartments. And then this is a cool looking apartment. I do believe there is a flight of stairs in the apartment. Or maybe that was a different place that he stayed in. But I feel like I saw stairs once. But I have never been there, so I can't tell you. I mean, my Swedish pronunciation, mate, would be spot on. Rathuset. Vill du ha lite kull med mig in Rathuset? Kevin kan allt and vet allt. Rathuset would not be a problem. The Zweifamilien house, however, big problem. Dreifamilien house, I can't deal with it. Ryan house, never heard of it. Couple of adepts of SKillous shade into the back of the main. So far throughout this, hello? Man, Reynor clicked those drones very far away now. I mean, it's good that we didn't lose any drones, guys, but I don't know about sending 16 drones that far away from our mineral line. I kind of feel like Reynor dealt more damage to himself than SKillous ever could have. Not bad for a Swedish accent. Jag ved. Two adepts and an oracle are gonna try to get lucky over here at what is now the natural, and again it's just a lot of lost mining time. The drones are very uncertain of where they want to move to. I mean, we've only lost 3 drones. You can say losing 3 drones, like, it's not perfect, but that's somewhat acceptable. But the amount of lost mining time is through the roof. It's just way higher than it's ever supposed to be. Reynor is going to try to get lucky with his Zerglings, and Reynor needs to really start finding momentum, guys. Otherwise, this Big Brain Bouts edition can go out like a candle in the wind. Getting the Adept and the Pylon is quite lovely. We'll take that. Forcing the Oracle to use Pulsar Beam is nice. This is an interesting ball off. It will work. It feels very fragile, but I guess it works. A Blink. 4-gate Blink. We have no Forge yet. We have no Robo yet. I'm sure that Serral understands some Swedish, but I have never communicated in Swedish with Serral, so I can't tell you how good or bad his Swedish is. But I'd be surprised if he doesn't know any. I feel like Finnish people probably learn a decent amount of Swedish as well in high school. 2 probes getting picked off by Reynor. So Reynor's starting to find a couple of tiny victories. But what Reynor really needs, guys, I feel like, is a scout on what SKillous is doing. Because SKillous delayed the Forge, SKillous delayed the Robot. Now this Overlord is going to see the timing of these buildings, but then Reynor also knows that there is a chance that at least that first Twilight Council upgrade is going to kick in real quick. That is once more excellent value coming out of the Oracle. Letting this Adept Shade finish up. Oh, but gets 4. That Adept got its final shot off from the grave. Don't ask me how it did it. Have you spoken Danish? No, never. I've met a lot of people in my life. More often than not. I hate to play into the stereotypes with Americans who really thought that I was Danish. Even explaining to them that I am Dutch. And then I'm just stuck in a conversation about how much they love Copenhagen for the next 12 minutes. And I was like, that's really cool, but that's a different country. Like, I don't live anywhere near Copenhagen, sir. Reynor gets a little wraparound, gets the double kill on the Stalkers, we'll take it. Gets a 3rd one. This is excellent on the side of Reynor. Reynor gets 3 Stalkers, and these Stalkers can blink, by the way. There isn't much energy left on these Oracles. And I would say that really wasn't that bad, right? On the side of Reynor. SKillous takes a little look with his Oracle as he's wondering, should I continue to be aggressive here? I think it'd be wise for him to back off for a little bit. Does fire up the Prism, guys. Oh, Prism and the second Robo and the Robo Bay after 4 more gateways. So Blink into late upgrades with Zealot Charge and then the double Robo with potential Colossus. I'm not going to entertain the leak comments too much, but what is really funny though, guys, is that there are people that you guys root for and that you guys are always very positive about that probably play way more Dota than Reynor plays League. The only difference is that Reynor decides to stream some of his League games. Reynor likes to stream some of his League games as he thinks it's cool and there are people out there that enjoy it. A lot of the other guys that you guys root for and are always so positive about and show nothing but love, they play twice the amount of Dota or Counter-Strike that Reynor plays League. And yet you guys never give them any hard time because you don't really know. So it's silly. A lot of the guys that are excellent in Starcraft 2 do play other games on the side. It's almost like they enjoy playing video games. It's almost like that is what made them very good at the video game to begin with. Yeah, it's like it's so silly that Reynor is the only one. Whenever he loses, it's because he actually streams a tiny bit of League. Meanwhile, everybody else is playing 12 hour of Dota sessions and Counter-Strike in the morning, Counter-Strike in the evening, Counter-Strike at night. Just because they don't stream it, it's so silly. Just stop it. Reynor has Hive that is 70% done, has not seen the Colossus yet, to the best of my knowledge. And that is obviously something he would love to see, because there is going to always be a scary moment where if you don't have Lurkers yet with Seismic Spines, if you don't have Vipers yet, if Reynor gets 2 Vipers out with energy, I feel pretty confident about this game. Especially because I like to think that Reynor is quite good as well. 4 Hydras, they need to snipe this Prism, and they will snipe that Prism. Boom, headshot. 2 Zealots did manage to get out, and now the Stalkers are moving out, and the Colossus are here. What's the Lurker count? 4. It's not much, but 4 Lurkers will at least hopefully buy some time. 7 additional Lurkers get fired up. You don't want to blink into 11 Lurkers, guys, with Stalkers. Even if those Lurkers don't have Seismic Spines, they don't have Adaptive Talents, it's still a whole bunch of Lurkers. SKillous sees it. Will he blink? He kills the first one though, because with Colossus it becomes a bit easier. We know there were 7 extra Lurkers on the way. The Lurkers are trying to make some progress. Oh, Reynor could really use Seismic Spines at this point, that's for sure. It's a big old circling counterattack on the other side of the map. But it's, oh man, the Colossus. The Colossus outranging the Lurkers right now is a real problem. I mean, they're not truly outranging it, but it's awfully close. Reynor's going to move a couple of the Lurkers forward. Snipes the Observer. That is so big. But the Revelation is still going to give SKillous vision. Seismic Spines is on the way. Once Seismic Spines kicks in, this game becomes a lot easier. Oh, the entire army can run into the main. No. Protoss. Oh my goodness. A pure Blink Stalker Colossus army casually runs into the main base. We need to snipe that Prism. The Warp Prism got rebuilt. A couple of Lurkers are getting big shots off, but Zealots got warped in as well. We have some Warp Prism micro. The entire Protoss army walked into the main base of the Zerg. Oh, Reynor is still a little bit late on that Seismic Spines. At least gonna finish up. Losing the Hive will suck. Losing the Hive will really suck. Finally, we are gonna get our hands on Seismic Spines, and that's gonna make these Lurkers a lot better. But the main base is forfeit. Ooh, Oracle died. Okay, guys, now literally just 1 Oracle for detection. No Archons to worry about, no Immortals to worry about, no weird juggling. Just blink and walk into the main base. And once you get into the main, you also get into the natural. Now, Reynor does still have that center base, the right side base. So even with 3 bases, he'll still have some okay income. But SKillous is severely outmining him now. And is continuing to pick up 1 Lurker at a time. A single Spine is not good enough here to deal with all these Zealots. It's starting to look like this one is perhaps all over. The Lynx don't have adrenal glands. Reynor lost Hive Tech, guys, so Reynor cannot build any Vipers, and without Vipers, it seems like impossible that we're gonna take a really good fight. Did Reynor restart his lair somewhere? It doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. Wow. We started the night off with a 3-1 in favor of Ian Blue over Calm Horizons. Mana, the veteran, had a surprising 3-0. Couple of Novas get fired. And this is perhaps an even more surprising 3-0 victory for the man that's representing Team Liquid. Could not play last week. Lost 3 games in a row against Reynor at the Home Story Cup. But not even 3 weeks later. It really seems like the tables have turned. SKillous had a couple of very clever builds. 3 unique builds on 3 different maps. We had the double Forge action. We had the double Stargate Fleet Beacon action. And we now have the double Robo action. And especially that move into the main base is a big one. I mean, Reynor, this feels like an impossible task at this point. There are zealots everywhere, going to town on every single mineral line. SKillous is rich enough. Ooh, hold position here for a bit. No detection, so these lurkers are getting insane shots of SKillous. Hello? SKillous not paying attention to his army in the top right side. Does this open the door for a potential miraculous comeback? The thing is, SKillous is so far ahead that I kind of feel like he could get away with that. But how many times can you get away with that? Don't you also feel sometimes like standing on top of 5 lurkers with no detection at all? Reynor literally up in supply. The problem is though, guys, carriers. Because SKillous was so rich. SKillous could fire up triple Stargate, Fleet Beacon, carriers, mothership. And Reynor is going to have the most difficult time ever dealing with that. He doesn't have Hydra Dash either, or Hydra Launch. Killing carriers when you don't have Corruptors, when you don't have Vipers, when you don't have Infestors, this is very difficult. I think SKillous still has it. That was definitely a questionable attack in the top right side. I mean, maybe we can just kill all the Interceptors. 20, oh, SKillous, what is that? SKillous, you have 3 carriers, and he flies the first one head first into the Hydras. SKillous is really doing his absolute best to give Reynor a miraculous second life in this best of 5. There are still a couple of Zealots going to town on stuff on the other side of the map. Reynor is here with Lynx, with Hydras, a couple of Lurkers getting some big shots off. Colossus barely live. The carriers are out of Interceptors. Big Mama is almost out, but not quite out yet. The funny thing is, guys, we never talk about the Mothership auto attack. The Mothership auto attack is actually going to be impactful here. Because Reynor doesn't have a crazy amount of Hydras. Does kill one carrier, almost kills the second. Can he snipe the Hydra? No, he cannot. Not with the Hydras. Is Reynor starting to really... Where's Mama? Where is Mama? Mama's chilling in the bottom right side. We're not fighting with Mama. Unpowering the 7 days? I cannot believe it. I cannot believe this game. Is there a chance for Reynor? Up 20 army supply. Not too many Interceptors. SKillous truly had this one in the bag. Now still has a Mama ship. Has a carrier. Is going to be able to repower his Cybercore. That's actually quite lovely. I mean, I hope I jinxed it, guys. I don't want it to be a 3-0. I don't want this night to be over yet. Especially not now that we have 3 best of 5s. I want longer series. You know, when we had 4 best of 5s and if we had like 2 of them go 3-2, I really didn't mind like a single shorter series. But we have 3 series now. I want them to go on. I want you guys to have fun. I want the gamers to have fun. I can guarantee you that neither SKillous or Reynor is truly enjoying this game at this point. What are we recalling? What did we recall? A carrier. SKillous sending it. Carrier came out. SKillous does not want to wait. How many spores do we have, guys? 3. +1 air weapons done. Hydra count is 16. 3 spores, 3 lurkers. I don't know. This still seems very difficult for Reynor, but maybe. Maybe. Burrow your lurker. Burrow your... the Zealots killing the lurker is big. There are Zealots, Zerglings counter-attacking, guys. Those Lings are going to be annoying, but will they be as annoying as a bunch of Archons, Colossus, a Mothership, and a few carriers? It's a real shame for Reynor that he didn't burrow this lurker, because I feel like then we could have at least been mining up that base and we could have saved a couple of those drones. SKillous doesn't have much income anymore, guys. There's still a bunch of... Oh my god, 4 more Archons. Oh my god. That is a lot of Archons. That is a lot of Archons. Reynor has lair tech. He is building his spire. The spire is done, but we have no money for Corruptus. There's so many Archons. And these Archons have +3. +3 Archons, +1 plasma shields. I think because of SKillous, his relentless zealot attacks. Reynor at one point slowed things down, but I think Reynor, his true only chance was to keep on going when the army was like 1 carrier. Now suddenly we have gone from 0 Archons to 8 Archons. We drop a time warp. SKillous needs to make sure that he doesn't run out of detection, because if he does run out of detection, he has ran out of detection. He's not going to kill any of the lurkers. That is a bit questionable. SKillous, not for the first time in this game, has 0 detection. Does kill another base of Reynor. This is really turning into a pretty silly epic little game. The Zerglings were thinking of going on top of the Robos. They're not quite certain what they want to do. SKillous has recalled by the looks of it. Yep. Actually only lost 3 Archons there. It looked a little bit more dramatic than that. I mean, Reynor just doesn't have much money. Has retaken his main, by the way. There is some money to still be gathered over there. 2 observers. A lot of long distance mining on the side of Nikita. And still some solid income coming out of the original 4th base. Lurker count is 5, soon 9. We have 2 observers. I'd say keep your eye on the observers. We've got Hydras. We've got Spores. Difficult to attack into this, guys. Difficult to attack into this. Even when there isn't that much creep. Those 2 Colossus, by the way, that barely survived. They are truly worth their weight in gold. Reynor losing 5 more drones. A 20-minute crazy silly game over here. The Spire. We worked so hard to get that Spire. Spire gets sniped. One of the Lurkers gets sniped. Another Lurker gets sniped. A big old time warp. Where are the observers? There's 1 observer left. I don't see it, but it's there. And that's all that matters for SKillous. GG gets called after the silliest 20-minute game 3 on 10k. It looked like 100% certain SKillous victory until SKillous lost detection. Not once, but twice. And then we got a couple of very entertaining minutes of Starcraft 2. But that does not change the end. This is where it went wrong, right? Where did it go wrong? Like at this point, this game looked mega over. Because we have 1 Oracle here. Where did that Oracle go? Wire Prism. The Zealot gameplay was very good. 3-0 guys. SKillous. Okay. We just have no detection here. Reynor used hold position for a bit. Oh, that is fighting. This was the blink as well. That could have been me. That could have been me. But you know what's the real power play, guys? To keep it in the ice hockey terms. As a tribute to these Winter Olympics. The real power play is still winning after that. It's all good, mate. Congratulations on your 3-0 victory. Now I feel like we need to run it back. If SKillous gets 3 in a row, Reynor got 3 at home Story Cup. It is time for the ultimate decider. Congrats, SKillous.